Jesus Christ, that goes far. Holy. Jesus Christ, that goes far. Hello? Holy. Jesus Christ, that goes far. Hello? Holy. Hello? 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 Can this work better? Hello? Hello? Alright, can this work better? Hello?
Hero animation mistakes. In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Peter B grabs the second to last slice of pizza, but in the overhead shot we see that there's still 2 pieces of pizza in the box. When Miles was underground, we see him pick up this backpack, but just moments earlier that same backpack wasn't even there. In Big Hero 6, when Honey pops that giant pink bubble, it splatters everywhere, but nothing went on.
Life is boring.
Want to see something cool? This is a DC supply from a research project I'm not allowed to talk about, but I can share this, and it's almost as cool as the shirt I'm wearing that you just noticed. So let's check it out. We got 3-phase in fused at 35 amps, then immediately drop into rectification. Cram that into filter caps big enough to take the ripples out of your ex's thighs, and then we hit some high power silicon. Cause we support the IGBT community. And we finish at a pair of terminals labeled DC. Okay, cool. But here's where it gets interesting. Check out that circuit board. Optical terminal. I guess one in, one out. No idea which is which. Check the data sheet on that IGBT and it's high speed. So what can we do with this? Remember, I got a few
Popular Outdoor Boys YouTube channel.
This is gonna be my last video for a little while.
A short 6 months later, and he was back posting a video on this channel.
And no, you're not imagining things. This is not my YouTube channel.
Today, Luke and I talk about the real reason why he's back and what's next for both our channels.
A lot of people think that that's because of the criticism. And I think having that much attention is not healthy for human beings. I don't want to just like throw that away and get rid of it. So
Does this mean you're back? Should we expect other videos from you, or? So, a little more than a month ago, you sent me an email saying that you wanted to make a video for my channel. What prompted you to send that email?
you know, I saw your video about your wife's diagnosis, and you know, as a content creator, it hit a nerve because it is hard to communicate to people how intense the schedule can be and how the amount of pressure that running a full-time YouTube channel can generate. You know, and so it's not hard to put yourself in someone's shoes and realize, oh, that's, you know, that's rough. It's a rough spot. And you know, I stepped away from my channel and you know, kind of retired this last spring, and really a good chunk of the motivation was to try to, you know, be a little bit more useful to society, you know, rather than just producing content. And you know, I'd been so absorbed on it that, you know, I was like, you know, this is a good chance to do what I've been wanting to do, to, you know, help other people out and not be so, you know, under pressure to produce my own content that I can't stop and help other people out. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
To recap for anybody that doesn't know, so a little, maybe almost 2 months ago, I put out a video updating everybody about stuff that was going on in my own life. Earlier this year, my wife was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Shortly after that, so she had her thyroid removed, and we thought, okay, like, done, cancer cured. And a little bit after that, she went in for a routine mammogram. They found a mass in her breast, and they wanted to biopsy it. And it turned out to be ductal carcinoma, which is the best case scenario when it comes to breast cancer. And then they found another mass that was a different type of breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer. And that has put us on a really long journey of treatment and
this game.
fatigue and, I mean, just all kinds of stress, as I'm sure you can imagine. And so I put out a video talking about that and really expected it to have, like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 views is what I was expecting. You know, but like before all this, that was kind of what I felt like my core audience was 100,000, you know. Like I have videos that would get beyond that for sure, you know, but it seemed like I could count on 80 to 100,000 people showing up to watch, you know, just about anything. And so I thought, you know, maybe we'll get 100,000 on this video. And shortly before you published a video on my channel, it was around 900,000 on its own. And so it got a lot of traction. And obviously you saw that video. And so I'm curious, before that video, had you watched the channel before that?
Yeah, I'd watch the channel. I think because of you, Z-Pack's gotten more than a little bit of my money. Yeah, you know, I'm always looking at gear, especially as a content creator, in order to try to keep things fresh. I like to use a lot of different type of gear and different types of things. And
so it seems like I've seen the Z-Pack duplex in a few of your videos. Is that your?
Oh yeah, the Z-Pack tents are sick. They are so nice. And I've got their one man on the duplex, and I've got the 3-man. The old school. And then I just saw that they came out with the new Zipper or Fly i3-man, and I bought that one too. So I got 4 of their tents. Though a bear recently bit a hole. I took it out, my brand new Z-Pack, took it out, and a black bear bit a hole in the side of my tent. Little coward tree fight me like a man. I sat there for 20 minutes yelling at that bear on the base of that tree. But yeah, little stinker went and just came up and just like, what the heck? It just bit it, you know. And it's the thing everyone always talks about bears, like, you know, don't have food, which is, yeah, sure, that's good advice. But bears are like toddlers. They'll bite crap just because it's an interesting color, or they're curious. They just bite everything, you know. So,
yeah, with those bears, man, they tell you not to have anything with an odor, and I'm always like, I have an odor, you know. And so, I mean, like,
I have 200 pounds of food. Where do I can't put me away, you know.
Well, that's awesome. It's really crazy to think about the fact that you just kind of put these videos out there, and you'd have no idea who's going to watch or, you know, anything like that. And so I had no idea that you've been watching, which is something else I was wanting to bring up, is because like prior to this video, prior to that email that you sent me earlier this month, we hadn't met, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, see, it's a great opportunity to make new friends.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and so that's one of the things I found really interesting about some of the publicity around this collaboration, I guess you would call it, that we've done, is a lot of people are saying, well, he came out for his friend, and I'm like, well, you know, like I do consider Luke my friend now, you know, but prior to this, like we'd never met each other, we'd never talked, and so it was very much just kind of like a cold email that you sent out there, just like saw something, like you said, knew the pressure around a channel like this, and wanted to help.
I'm a big advocate of you help people because they need help, not because you think they deserve help or they're here for, you know, you help people when there's a need, you know. That's kind of
hazards and beams, of course.
Life's a lot simpler when you just think of it that way.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and it really has been a tremendous help for me because, like, I do have 4 children. My wife is battling cancer right now. And so one of the things that I wanted to do during this time was I wanted to make sure that the money was still coming in, you know, so we can just exist, you know, on a regular basis. But I also wanted to make sure that I was trying to be there for her, that she wasn't going to appointments by herself. You know, that's one of the things I've noticed. Like I've been going to chemo with her every week, and there will be other people there that are just by themselves while they're, you know, going through chemo and stuff like that. And I always feel really, I don't know, sad whenever I see that, because like I don't know, like it's a really difficult and hard thing to do. And so a lot of what that has translated into for me with the channel is like I'm just not traveling as much as I used to. Like I'm still getting out and I'm still making videos, cutting way back. But even then, there is pressure. You know, there's pressure to think, well, if you go away for any amount of time, you know, are people still going to be there when you get back? And been really encouraged by the number of people that are like, you know, do what you need to do, and, you know, we'll be here when you get back. But you made a video. Well, before we talk about that, so you mentioned it a little bit earlier. This year, you kind of retired from your channel. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I always knew that I was going to do this forever. You know, the idea of me being out 60, 70 years old, you know, like, look, subscribe, you know, like that's not, you know, this is, being a YouTuber is probably analogous to being a professional athlete. You know, it's not a career that most people grow old in, you know, and I just, no, I've always kind of knew that there would be an end to it, and I've been thinking about retiring for a couple of years, actually. You know, I've been talking, and it's funny thing, my wife was always just like, well, just make whatever videos you want when you want. You know, nobody's telling you to do that. I'm like, I either want to do it or not do it. You know, kind of that absy sort of thing doesn't thing. And so I'm a bit of a drama queen. So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna go out and announce it. You know, I'm gonna do it. And part of it was just you know, I was, you know, there was a lot of reasons for it. A big part of it was the exposure. The channel blew up really big, and it kind of went from, people recognize me every once in a while, to people recognizing me everywhere I go all the time, you know, and then, you know, we started to have to really have serious conversations about security issues, safety of the family, and you know, I was looking at it going, well, you know, at the rate I was going, my channel size would probably double in a year or two. And so I'm looking at, you know, okay, I'm going to be, you know, a real, you know, full-blown celebrity lifestyle, and I, you know, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want it for the kids. I don't want to live that way. I want to be able to go out in public and eat dinner with my wife at a restaurant and not have it cause problems. I want to be able to go to my kids' school events and not have it be a distraction to them. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just. And so, anyway, so that was a big part of it. Then there was also, like, you know, it's just an unhealthy lifestyle, working 80, 100-hour weeks, you know, and just focused solely on me, and my business, and that. And so it's like, you know, there's just a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons to call it, and you know, and you always got to say when is enough enough. It's weird. It's like clam digging, you know. And like, I love going out and clam digging and stuff, and it's so much fun. But if you're not careful, you'll walk away with like 6 5-gallon buckets of razor clams, and then you look around and go, what on earth am I going to do with 6 buckets of razor clams? And you spend 12 hours cleaning clams, processing clams, and eating clam chowder for 3 years. You go, you know, you have to know when is enough. How much do I need? And then you need to stop. And I think the same, you like digging clams. You need to know when is enough and stop. And I limited out on clams, and it was time. So, you know, so it was.
I guess if you get 6 buckets of clams, I guess you start giving away to friends, right?
Yeah, that's true. You know, you got more than you need. My poor wife is insistent. was just like, I don't care, you know. And I would just like mope around, like, what should I do? How should I retire now or next week? And he's like, whatever you want. I don't care, you know.
You announced it, but you had 3 videos just filmed that you just hadn't edited yet, but you decided to go ahead and announce already, right?
Yeah, they were in various stages of completion. Some of them I just planned, and I'd already like bought the tickets to do it and everything, and others I'd done some various prep. I usually plan my videos out about 6 months in advance, and so at any given time, you know, I've got videos I'm working on. Some of them I'm working on. Again, the homestead project I'm working on. I was working on it. And so yeah, I knew that there was some that I'm like, I don't want to just like throw that away and get rid of it. So you know, I'm like, yeah, summer, and then I dumped them at the end of the year, like I said I was going to do. It turned out just to be 3. I thought there was going to be like 6 of them, but turns out retirement was a lot more fun than I realized. Now there's only 3.
So you finished those videos, then you had agreed to make this video for me, and so went back out in the cold Alaskan wilderness and spent the night out in the woods.
It wasn't that cold. It wasn't that cold. It was like in the 20s. It was temperature because it looks cold because you got the snow and everything, but it's like it's 26. It's balmy, you know. I'm taking stuff off, you know. So that's the best. The worst conditions to film in is when you get that really deep cold in the fall before the snow hits. So it looks like it's just the fall, but it's like 5 degrees out, and you're just like freezing your butt off, and it looks like, you know, it looks like it could be 40, you know. And pull that home, it looks like a big deal, you know. So 26 is like the perfect temperature for filming winter videos, and it was the weather was really good. We had some nice snow. We got a lot more snow than the forecast said, so that made me happy. We got, but not too much. I was able to get my car out, which has been a problem in the past.
So what was it like being out again, filming a video like that?
Oh, it was a little bit. I haven't done this in a while. Like, you know, it's the weirdest part about retiring is phantom camera syndrome. I call it. Like, you've heard of people when they get amputated limbs, they can feel their limbs. Like, I get phantom camera syndrome. Well, I'll be doing random things, and I'll go to adjust the camera, you know, because I'm constantly moving the camera, and there's no camera there, and I'm like, and I have this urge to like go and hit stop and record, because, you know, I'm just doing that constantly, and I'm so used to doing it while I work for 11 years that it's like this weird thing. I went on a trip with my family, didn't film it for the first time in a long time, and I was like, you know, getting off the plane. I'm like, oh, I need to film myself getting off. I need the transitional shots of me getting off the plane. But like, there's no camera.
Is it a little bit of a relief to kind of let that go a little bit and like remember, oh, there's no camera, and just kind of exist?
Yeah, yes and no. Oh, I like it's so much less stress, and it allows me opportunities to do things. My life was so one-dimensional, and just so on an unhealthy level focused on one thing. Being able to go and
Sorry guys,
do
my
other things feels really
shifter
good, and be able to
broke kind of.
be able to
so.
do things that don't get views,
Yeah,
that don't
fix
make
it.
money, and don't, you know, just be able to do those things. It's very nice, and it's been something I've had to relearn, you know. But at the same time, we love those videos, and being able to go back and watch the kids grow up and live those memories and stuff. They're like home videos for our family, and so my wife is actually like, so you're still gonna film our trips, right? Like the big ones, you know, because she loves watching those. Like, she loves the family videos, and so.
Oh wow.
No, I mean, so all the ones of us as a family going travel, which are my favorite videos to film too. I love the travel videos, and so which a lot of people don't realize I'm a travel YouTuber as much as I am a camping YouTuber. But anyway, I think I might keep filming those and just maybe just keep them for personal consumption or something, you know. And
Yeah.
but maybe put, maybe
It'll be
Tom
interesting to see if any of those pop up on the channel.
Yeah, you'll see. I might give them to Tom. You know, well, Tom needs more footage. You know, and he goes on the trips too, so he might put them on his channel. But you know, but I think there's definitely the family wouldn't mind if I still filmed our trips together, so we had those memories. So.
Yeah, so with this video, you headed out into the Alaskan wilderness, and you were on a pretty tight time crunch to get everything set before the sun went down. You didn't get out till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, is that right?
Yeah, it was a bit of a drive. You know, just things happened. It was 7 hours driving to get to that location, and so yeah, it just time got away from me. The sun sets so early. This time of year, you know, it's most places in the interior, it's like sun's down before, you know, so yeah, it's a constant video. It's like, oh crap, the sun's coming down, we better hustle, you know.
So I mean, it's a little bit different than what I'm used to, because I mean, if I'm going out into the woods, I've got a tent and I've got a sleeping bag, and that's what I'm relying on for shelter. And so if I have a time crunch, it's because the sun's going down in the next 15 minutes. But you had a time crunch. You had a couple hours. That's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it is, and I've gotten a lot faster at it than when I started doing the videos. There's definitely a learning curve to that, you know, being systematic and you know, gather all your wood and you pile up by the fire, and then when the sun sets, you can work on it by the fire and you have light. And you're not running out in the darkness, and even if you have headlamps, it's hard to find trees in the night because you don't want to cut down living trees, and you know, your headlamp, it's hard to tell if the branches way up high have pine needles on them or not, and so in the darkness, so you kind of want to get all your dead trees cut down before the sun sets, and then you can just pile it all up. So I've gotten much better at, okay, I know how much wood I need, I know how many trees I need to cut down, and kind of get used to the math, and then I can just make a big pile and just, you know, do one thing all at a time and it makes you a lot faster at it.
And so you had a couple interesting meals with you, and so one was a traditional Inuit meal. Tell me about that. What's it called again?
A gutak. Yeah, the Eskimo ice cream, or gutak. And my buddy Sam from Kotlik, you know, he was in some of my videos and stuff. I had the idea to do the gutak kind of the last minute, and I texted him, said, hey, do you know anybody who got some gutak? Yeah, because you can't go to the stores and buy it. You know, you got to know somebody, or you know. And his wife makes it gutak. So I think my wife will make it. No, but after I posted the video, he texted me and said, he goes, no, I said it was.
All right, maybe we close some background things, eh? sand. Novice, and that's the stupid one. The PC is not happy right now, dare I say. Alright. Test something. It's not that one. Alright, let's fix my car. Alright. How long have I been up? 30 minutes? Put me here. Let's park this, and we'll quit the game for a minute. And quit streaming.